Hey Libra, welcome to your end of July reading. This is just going to be for the last 10 days of July. Since today is the 21st, there are only 10 days left. So, let's just get into Libra. All right, Libra, so on the brain, Ace of Pentacles. That just jumped out, so we'll keep it because it feels right. I'm trying to tune into your energy and see if I can pick anything up. Actually, you know, I kind of want to clean the energy surrounding me right now. So let's get some Palo. I love Palo Santo. It's like... it's very earthy. It's got a very earthy smell. You know, in 2019, I went to Scotland and I went on the Loch Ness in search for old Nessie. Well, on each side of this canal, there are mountains. And peat moss kind of like rolls off the mountains and into the canal, into the water, into this big channel. I don't even know if you call it a river. It's so wide and so long. So I don't know exactly what it's called, but they call it the Loch Ness. So you get on this boat, sort of like a tour. You get on this boat and the water is pitch black. I mean, it's pitch black. It looks like you're gliding or the boat is riding through oil. It looks so black. But that's from the peat moss. But as the boat's going, it looks like the smoke is coming off the back of the boat. And when you go over there, it smells just like the Palo. It's very earthy, and I think it's because the motor, whatever is making the boat go, is burning the peat that's in the water, and so the smoke that's coming up and it smells earthy is because of the burning of the peat moss. It's such an earthy, I don't know how to describe it, but it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And it smells so earthy. I don't know. It was just the best experience I had. Sorry, but that's what this reminds me of. And this, I like this because it helps to clear the energy out. So Libra, I think we kind of need that right now. I think Libra's got, I'm hearing heavy heart. Got a lot on their plates. Let's see. But I just heard heavy heart. Okay, Libra. Why? Why the heavy heart? The Emperor. The Devil. And the Five of Pentacles. You may feel like it's difficult to get, you know, to start new with something. Okay, give me a second. I'm seeing regret here. I see regret here. I see regret with the Devil and the Five of Pentacles, feeling kind of like out in the cold. I feel like this feels like there's a regret. Because we're stuck in devil energy while thinking about the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is the new beginning, you know, and the devil is like, let me see if I can kind of describe what I mean. It's almost like the devil has this bubble over your head, you know? Like you can't think past this bubble. And the way that you're thinking while this bubble is just clouding you is like the worst of everything. You know, seeing the worst of everything, the worst case scenario, possible outcomes being the worst. Like, just a really dark view of how things are unfolding. But in the world around you, that's not what's happening. Your world feels like that. And I think that's why the devil's here, because it's like a toxic, like, feeling stuck in this, but it doesn't feel like you. It feels like this feels bigger than you, you know? At least maybe that's the way you're perceiving it. Like, this feels bigger than you, like the devil's doing his work, you know? But, you know, I always say your imagination is your best friend, because I truly mean that. It's only perceived that way because this is how your imagination is playing the scenario out. You know, you remember when you were a kid, you were like, you know, that's when your imagination was at its highest, you know. It took nothing for a little girl to create an entire family in her mind and have, you know, the happily ever after scene. That was what she would play out, you know. And with the little boys, it was, you know, good versus evil, you know. And you were able to manipulate your play area to however you wanted it to be. If you wanted to be the villain, you were the villain. If you wanted to be the good cop, you were the good cop. You know, if you wanted to be the princess, you were the princess. You know? And so it's like, right now, do you want to be the victim? Or do you want to be the survivor? Do you want to be the abuser? Or do you want to be the survivor, you know, survivor again? You know, do you want to be the escapee? You know, like, what do you want to be? What do you choose to be? Because you see the Ace of Pentacles, you see the new beginning, you can see this. You can see that it's tangible. You can imagine in your head what that looks like if you had your hands on it. The only thing that's stopping it is the self-criticism, you know, the negative self-talk. The woe is me. It never works out, so. Well, why do you keep giving up? You know? And truth be told, I'm a Libra. So I see this, you know, I see this in myself too. So there is no judgment, I promise, you know. But when do we take accountability for our own stuff and stop procrastinating on the solution? We already know what the solution is. So when do we start working on that, you know? Five of Cups. We're just stuck in emotion, it feels like. Stuck in emotion. Yeah. Hearing the call could be, you know, you may be having some moments in these next 10 days where you could be regretting things that were said. Yeah. So, yeah. Could be regretting some things that were said. So, understand. You know, you ever hear that saying, hurt people hurt people? So if you're channeling emotion these next 10 days, or like trying to sift through that and clean that junk out, be mindful of how you speak to other people during that process. And if other people are coming in attack mode towards you, give yourself permission to not tolerate that and walk away. You have the right to protect your energy. But people also have the right to protect their energy from you as well. So respect and honor that. Yeah, that's only fair. But you've got to take some time to work on you. Yeah. I think the best solution, oh yeah, trying to, hold on. You know, I also think this is allowing an ending, because you can't drain from an empty well. You can't. And I feel like you have given so much of yourself. The well has run dry, but people are still standing around the well like, well, we'll just wait till it rains again so we can take what we need from this well. And I think you're understanding how much people have depended on you emotionally, physically, financially, whatever. I think you're realizing just how important you have been in other people's worlds, even though they didn't necessarily show you in an appropriate manner. And so I think you're trying to figure out how to transition out of being that person for somebody else to depend on. I think you're trying to figure that out, while maintaining a healthy balance for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like you don't want to give the wrong impression either. I feel like your heart is really guarded because you have to be. I mean, that's just what you've experienced. But I feel like you're trying to be really careful with how you disperse your energy, because you don't want to give up completely on somebody, like wash your hands and walk away, but you don't want to give as much as you were, because one, it wasn't working, obviously, and two, it was depleting you. So I think you're trying to figure out a balance of give and take here. Yeah. But so that's what I'm getting for the next 10 days. So let's see if I can get some advice on that. I really think it's like staying focused on what it is that you want for yourself and really sticking to that, because there's truly no one else to blame but yourself. You know, even if it means that you're giving so much to other people to make sure that they can get accomplished what they need to get accomplished, and putting your stuff on the back burner, you know, like trying to find a balance there. Come up with a solution. Libra. Yeah, confronting that side of you, you know. It, like, usually when you confront a certain aspect of yourself, it's not always like a heavy thing. I think it's trying to confront this part of you that's always doing the negative self-talk. You know, I think it's, you know, confronting yourself there, like, okay, that's not necessary. I mean, if I was really that bad of a person, or inadequate or insufficient or anything, why am I so important to other people, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. Sometimes I struggle with articulating what it is I'm trying to get across. But I think there's a part of you that needs to confront that. Yeah, choose your battles too, you know? Really, choose your battles. You don't need to be at war with people all the time. I mean, some people just need to give it a damn break, you know what I mean? But you don't have to always be at war even with yourself. Allow things to happen naturally. And I think the more anxiety that you have, the more trapped you feel, and it's harder to get things done. And I think working on your anxiety is probably number one here. And I think you worry a lot. I think you worry a lot, and I think you have been worrying a lot. So I think right now, I usually don't tell people to keep their hearts guarded, but I think right now you protecting yourself is just a good idea, because I think that I think you're in a vulnerable place too. You're definitely in a stronger place than you were. All right, don't get me wrong, and you're heading in a really positive direction. But I think you're also in a vulnerable place too, because you're trying to find your place in the world. Like, I think there's a certain part of you that died a long time ago, but there's a residual memory that often comes up and you miss that part. And so trying to get back to that, I think sometimes can get in the way, because you start going over in your mind where that change came in. Like, I was this, but now I'm this, and this is why. And this is the in the why, in that area is where where the nerves are really open. You're really sensitive there. And because there was trauma there, you changed from this person to this person because of the trauma in between. That's what forced this change in you. But even though your human experience may have been traumatic, it wasn't the spiritual intention. Do you know what I mean? Like, the intention behind this spiritually was to get you to have as many experiences as possible, because you can't help others if you're a light worker. You can't help others if you can't relate. And so, the spirit needs ground warriors. And a warrior has experienced so many hardships and heartaches, but they still stay strong. And I think this is spirit sort of like training you and showing you the warrior that you truly are. Like, step away from technology for a little while and dig deep inside and see, the true soldier that you are. Like, you have more strength than you've realized. Even in a place when you thought that maybe this was the end of everything for you, and you just wanted to give up, Spirit was like, no, 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 you're a lot stronger than you're giving yourself credit for. Let's prove it. And so we'll put you through all this stuff here, and you're going to persevere through it, and you'll be rewarded at the end. But you've got to teach yourself how to climb out of it mentally now. This is the hardest part, is trying to teach yourself to climb out of it mentally and not break down completely. Like, this is supposed to build strength and character, not make you a puddle of mud that, just dirties everything, like mucky. It's not supposed to be like that. So pat yourself on the back and be proud of what you've been through and persevere through, because you're so much wiser for it. You're so much stronger emotionally for it. And you could prove that to yourself by thinking about things that would have broken you 10 years ago, but now you're like, oh, that's unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a good sign that you've got a thicker armor. It's almost like you had to be initiated in. I don't know if that makes sense, but you're a spiritual warrior, and never forget that. So whatever you're going through, it's literally just to build strength. So sit tight. It's almost over, and I know you've been hearing that for a long time, but it truly is. The Ten of Swords is here in reverse, allowing that to fall away and getting back in touch with you and falling back in love with you. And I think you have been doing that. That doesn't even seem foreign to say. So I don't even think that's been an issue. I just think it's stuck in the mind. That Libra thing that we do is just really stuck in the head and like a deadlock. But you've got this, and you're gonna clear the fog. You're going to clear the fog, and you're going to get out of this, and you're going to breathe again. You're going to exhale. So you're going to be good, Libra. Okay, this is probably the longest reading, and I just felt like it was necessary. So good luck with everything, and I will see you again soon. Take care, Libra. Bye.